So I expect that this video will be quite the rant video. I hope it doesn't get me in trouble, but that really wouldn't surprise me given that it's 2017 and people love to be offended. It's like a hobby these days. So I had an interesting week a bit back where I had my Facebook take a hit because I swore and someone was offended by that. And I was also removed, sorry about my voice, I've coached all weekend. I was removed as a speaker from an event because apparently I'm a pickup artist. Now it seems that any man even remotely interested in improving his ability and confidence with women these days is a pickup artist, apparently. I've dealt with this a lot in the past. You can Google my articles on it. I've been on national radio discussing it, I believe more than once. But I want to do a video today because recent events are a perfect example of what I want to call bullshit on, and I'm not hating, I'm just saying. So the first thing, the person that asked me to no longer be a speaker at this event said, "Chris, you said that you're not a pickup artist, but on your website you use those words." So that's because there are hundreds of men looking for pickup artists, and I'd rather that they find me someone that's going to improve them as a person and raise their self-esteem. Hello. You know, someone that's going to try and help them overall to become better people and approach in a much more normal fashion than someone that is going to teach them a bunch of weird shit to fuck a bunch of women, which by the way isn't going to work. Women are not stupid. They are typically much more socially intelligent than men, and generally women have men figured out in seconds of meeting them. So some guy learning how to approach and say hello is not going to result in her just jumping into bed with him. You know, you can take a guy with a really average appearance, shitty attitude, shitty lifestyle, no real social skills, and give him the greatest pickup techniques in the world. And it's not going to work because we communicate on a subconscious level. So it doesn't matter what this guy says or does, women are still going to know who they're dealing with right away. And I have to say, the pickup artist guys that, you know, you seem so paranoid about are in fact 95% really nice guys who just want more confidence. They probably went looking for pickup artists online or wherever because they heard about it in the media, and they're sick of waiting for it to just happen because that's the best that traditional advice has to offer. Many have also been burnt in the past. Women fuck over men in dating just as much as men fuck over women, because it's not about men or women or pickup artists or whatever. It's just that some people are lovely and some people are cunts, men and women. And for most guys to get good enough to actually get any results, you know, to be meeting women and dating the women that they want to be dating, it's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of endurance. I tell guys to go out and meet a lot of women, not because they want a lot of women, but because a lot of women won't want them. That's just the reality of dating for your average guy. It's not like I can teach Tommy next door how to just approach and then bam, he's some kind of player swimming in fucking vaginal juice. Most guys have to go through a really long period of trial and tribulation and working on, you know, their insecurities and their self-esteem and their confidence before they have any success. And usually when they do go through that process, they come out on the other side much better men, much better people, usually with much more respect than your average guy, because then they have options and they can meet women. They don't have to manipulate women, which is what most nice guys are doing. Women don't just sleep with a guy because he approached her or even because he knows a pickup line. Not that I even coach pickup lines because they're fucking retarded and completely unnecessary. In fact, if I meet a guy that wants coaching and I do suspect he wants to be some player, I don't coach him because usually they're a nightmare to coach because they're just often overcompensating and they don't really deal with rejection very well. You know, I've had big companies ask me to work for them. I've had the TV shows ask me to work with them. I've had people wanting to pay me thousands of dollars to just find them a wife without approaching and growth and all that. And I say no every single time because it's not what I stand for and it's not what works. You know, I find it really funny how a lot of these people will cringe at me teaching guys how to approach and interact with women, but then they'll go home and fucking watch Married at First Sight. You know, so a guy learning to get over his own bullshit and talk to girls is sleazy, but some fucking dramatic couple thrown together to marry for the entertainment of the masses on primetime TV, perfectly fine. The second thing that the event organizer mentioned was that she saw something of mine where I said that I tell men to give a reason to, I tell men to give women a reason to go home with them, if that makes sense. Now, I'm not going to go through all of my articles and all of my videos where I may or may not have said that to find that, but two things. One, in order to find that one line, she must have gone through a lot of my content and ignored a lot of my content on improving yourself, improving your life, improving your self-esteem, improving your confidence. She must have just ignored all that to find that one line that she could twist, which is what people do in 2017. They go looking for fucking outrage. They go looking for things to be outraged by. They'll discount 99% good to find 1% potentially bad. You know, my entire philosophy on coaching is about improving yourself and about becoming more attractive. But no, you told a guy to give a girl a reason to go home with him. Fuck. So you're in a bar, you're getting along really well with a girl, you're having a good chat, and it's quite clear that things are progressing, so you invite her over for a drink. Now, anyone with a shred of intelligence understands this. I don't understand why that's so controversial, you know. What does come watch Netflix generally mean in 2017? I once had a girl actually get really annoyed at me because I invited her over to watch a documentary and then actually watch the documentary. You know, we live in a society that is very sexually repressed. We can't say what's on our mind. So, do you want to come over for a drink is not manipulative. I've had women ask me to come over for a tea or a coffee. That's a reason. The only people outraged by this are people who fucking suck at dating and want everyone to be on their own shitty level. You know, they're like sexual socialists. So the concerns for me speaking at this event apparently came from a complaint from a lady who hated me because I'm a pickup artist in her eyes. Do you think that she has watched any of my videos, read any of my articles, spoken to me, spoken to anyone that I've helped? Or do you think that she's just read some headline about me and made her own conclusions? Also, if you had to guess, would you put your money on her having the success that she wants with men and in dating? Or do you think that perhaps she's projecting her bitterness onto men, preventing her from meeting anyone? Do you think she's actually angry at me or angry at her own situation or something from the past? You know, how do you think she responds when a man does come to say hello to her? Even if he's a really lovely guy. I'm going to go with not very well. That's where my money's going. I'm going to go with her labeling lovely guys as losers and confident guys as players, even though any guy that came to talk to her probably stood there for 10 minutes working up the balls to do so. I'm not saying this out of any hate towards her. I don't even know who she is. So if you're watching this, hi, I'm just trying to help. I just think that it's important to point out that attitude is everything, and this attitude is no different than the guys who are walking around calling women fucking sluts and gold diggers or stuck up. Those guys don't get anywhere. They don't get any results. They get nothing. Basically, ultimately, you get back what you put out there. So if every guy is a player, guess who you're gonna meet? And now let's look at the idea of players. Yes, some men are players, but so are some women. There are plenty of women who go out and get free drinks from guys, free dinners, they get their way paid for. They'll use a hot guy for a rebound, then won't call him back, whatever. Women cheat just as much as men as well. You know, I'm out there every week. I see all this stuff that society chooses to ignore. And also, a very contentious point here, but I do know a lot of players. I do know a lot of guys who are really good with girls, and they will fucking contact a girl back after sex, after a date, if that girl is awesome. So if a guy isn't calling you back, it's not that you slept with him, it's not that he's a player, it's just he's not compelled to contact you again. So any guy, if he sleeps with a girl and he finds her really awesome, so she's pretty, she's funny, she's confident, she's happy in herself, she's positive, going places, he'll probably not only text her back, but he'll probably text her too much and scare her away. I've seen that happen a number of times. I've seen even the most confident men crumbling at the feet of amazing women because they were awesome. So stop blaming men or players or pickup artists or fucking dating is shit in 2017. Stop blaming that for your lack of success. What you have or don't have is because of you. Men only want one thing. I hear it all the time. And you know, I think men only want one thing from women that can only offer them one thing. And women only want one thing too. So I just think ultimately your value in dating and in a relationship shouldn't be based on whether you sleep with a guy or not. I think your value should come from deep within you. You know, you should like yourself enough to legitimately think that if a guy sleeps with you and doesn't contact you, then he's a fucking idiot and he missed out. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't bad things in the pickup industry, dating coaching industry, life coaching industry, whatever. There are, but there are also bad elements of any group. You know, I'm sure most people involved in, say, Black Lives Matter, I'm sure most of them just want better lives for black people, but there are also a small element of them calling for the death of cops. Most feminists just want secure, safe, successful lives for women, but there's also a small element of them that want men to die. Most people are lovely, some people are cunts. I honestly think that most of the dating coaching and self-help industry fucking sucks. It drives me nuts. People overcomplicate things, they give wishy-washy advice. Most people have no experience themselves in what they're teaching. So ultimately, just fucking go out, talk to people. Ideally women that you're attracted to, and grow into a better person in the process. Now, I had a meetup group shut down a few years ago, which was actually one of the first meetup groups in Melbourne. It was a 5-star rated, 700 member strong group, all guys just wanting to improve themselves. I did talks on conversation, mindset, approaching. I even had a hypnotherapist friend of mine come in and talk about the mind, and that group was shut down. That was an awesome resource for men to learn and to grow and to get support, and that was shut down. The fucking PC people are winning, and it's because society keeps fucking placating to them. And fuck you if you think I swear too much. So I hope that guys watching this can relate to this and not feel guilty for wanting to get out and improve themselves and, God forbid, meet some women, you know. I spent my 20s hooking up with God knows how many women, and now in my 30s, I'm more interested in business, in meditation, in spirituality, in helping people improve their lives, which is what I fucking talk about in my seminars. But no, that guy's a pickup artist. People around me now just watching going. So make educated choices for yourself, people, and don't project your own insecurities onto the world and onto other people. If something is bothering you, if something's making you angry or frustrated, look into it, because that's probably going to be your greatest teacher. Anyway, if you liked all this waffle, subscribe to my channel. If you didn't like it, share it and, you know, contribute to my ultimate demise. Check out my Facebook and my Instagram and all that shit too. I have a book coming out soon, and I'm also starting my own personal blog instead of my coaching blog. All those links will be below. So have a good day.